Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Budgets are about the here and now, about addressing urgent priorities. And those urgent priorities are extremely clear: putting downward pressure on inflation and providing support to those who urgently need it. On inflation, I am significantly concerned that the budget did not deliver this. But budgets are also about the long-term future, about setting up the country over time and ensuring we are good ancestors for future generations. And it is on the longer term that I'd like to focus today. What is that future vision of Australia? Australia is a wonderful country. We have a diverse and largely cohesive society. We are prosperous. We offer opportunities to many. We have, on the whole, good public services, and we are blessed with wonderful natural resources. We have largely managed to balance competing interests, walking our own path between the breathtaking dynamism but punishing inequality of the US and the strong public services but at times sclerotic environments of Europe. And when I think of that vision for the future of Australia, I think about building on our strong foundations with 6 key principles. Firstly, we want Australia to be the best place in the world to grow and start and grow a business. Secondly, we want to be a place where all people and generations, who work hard, who make a contribution, can build a comfortable life. Thirdly, we want to be a place where there's help at hand when you fall on hard times. Fourth, we want to be a place which protects our natural environment whilst benefiting responsibly from its abundance. Fifth, we want to be a place where everyone is valued and welcomed, and when our differences and diversity enrich our society. And finally, we want to be a secure country which can chart our own course, free of coercion. We are not very far away from those aspirations, but I recognise that these are very difficult times approaching us, and this is a constantly dynamic environment. And I believe we do need to take different actions to ensure that we continue to deliver on this vision of Australia. So let me outline some of the areas where I think we should be focused. Firstly, on housing and intergenerational inequity. Crippling housing costs are Australia's economic cancer. It infects opportunities for our children. It prevents essential workers from living near where they work. And it is devastating the lives of those who deserve better. In a recent call with a senior teacher in my electorate, a deputy principal no less, she broke down in tears because of the cost of housing and how difficult she is finding it to make ends meet. It shouldn't be this way. Though many levers sit with the states, the Commonwealth must and can do more on housing, including stronger incentives for states to change planning laws and protect renters, reviewing our tax system in relation to housing, both in terms of stamp duty and Commonwealth and CGT, and supporting social housing. Secondly, if we want to fund the public services we all desire, we need to make it easier to start and grow a business here in Australia. That means cutting red tape, ensuring public procurement supports innovative Australian companies, simplifying the industrial relations system, and restoring competitiveness to our tax system. Thirdly, there needs to be more focus on public sector productivity. That means measuring what actually works, properly assessing the costs and benefits of big infrastructure projects, and adopting a more customer-centric approach to government services. Fourth, transitioning to net zero at lowest cost and fast as possible, which means putting people and households at the centre and properly funding environmental protection. Fifth, investing for inclusiveness by sharing the caring, empowering women and ensuring those who want to have a job have the resources and support to succeed at the interview. And finally, being realistic about the strategic and defence environment that we face. And where does this differ from the government and the opposition? With both, I support elements of their agendas, but both I see as significantly wanting. The government, I believe, must do more on business productivity and accountability. I support steps forward on the FIRB and removal of nuisance tariffs, for example, but I don't see the drive to support businesses, and their IR agenda has made it harder. On public sector productivity, there's not enough rigour on public spending and analysis, particularly infrastructure, and this is absolutely critical we get this right. And the government's moving on housing, but not fast enough. The Coalition's agenda is less clear at the moment, and while I agree with them on things like industrial relations and reducing red tape, their responses on net zero transition, intergenerational inequity and supporting inclusiveness do not address the significant challenges we face. There is a different way to pursue a positive future, and we must do better.
The member